Hey guys, Adrian Clarke here. Welcome to the breakdown. Well, what a game that was. Newcastle won, Arsenal to a massive 3 points for the Gunners, and a very deserved 3 points in my opinion. There's so much to get through, so let's just crack on, shall we, and break down why Arsenal won this game and how they won it as well. Let's start, I think, with Mikel Arteta and some positive decisions. Now, he's taken a lot of unfair criticism, in my opinion, and he kind of rammed it down their throats in this game. First of all, by picking Eberechi as a central number 10. It was very much a 4-2-3-1. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of that shortly. But that was a positive move, and it undoubtedly unlocked Arsenal's attacking potential. Eze had 4 shots in the game, 2 of which were unbelievable saves from Nick Pope. I don't think Eze could have done much more, but he carried that goal threat. He was in and around the D. He was making things happen throughout the game. And it was a selection that absolutely paid off. And it didn't weaken the team defensively. So it bodes well for the future that maybe Mikel Arteta will have a little bit more trust now that we can start with Eze or Odegaard in that position. There was a surprise. I was really shocked that Mosquera started ahead of Saliba. Mosquera's been brilliant. We've been through that. Unfortunately, I'm led to believe that there was so much to get through in the press conference afterwards that no one asked Mikel Arteta what happened with that team selection. Was Saliba not fully fit, rested, whatever? But I think that the nuts and bolts of it are that Mosquera did look a bit edgy. He certainly obviously shouldn't have given that corner away that they scored from. And overall, I did feel he was a bit nervous. But Arteta, again, corrected it. Just like he did against Manchester City. He made a bold call, half-time, make the change. Saliba comes on. It was the right decision. It calmed everyone down, particularly Gabriel Magalhaes. And then again, late on in the match, you have to say that when we were chasing that equaliser and the winner, he embraced the chaos, didn't he? And by putting Marino on and Martinelli and Odegaard with Eze, which was absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look at that, actually. Let's have a look at both of their second half pass maps. And as you can see, they basically played the same role, twin number 10s. So many involvements on the edge of the box for Eze and also for Odegaard, to be perfectly honest. And both kind of rotated a little bit as well by dropping deep and linking play from those areas as well. So they proved that I think that they can play together, which I think is really, really important moving forwards. At one point there was 3 at the back, and that was corrected to 4 when Lewis Skelly came on. And when he did come on, what about this for a pass from Martin Odegaard? This is why he's a world-class attacking midfielder. This is what people shouldn't forget, really, when they do criticise him. He's capable of moments like this. What a eye of the needle pass that is. It won us a corner and it kept that pressure going for Arsenal. A really, really big part of the game. I thought that we played some really good football during the game. I mean, we've been to St James's Park and been bullied before, over and over again, actually, where it's become a really scrappy, fragmented game, and it's become stodgy, and we've not had the answer. We've allowed things to drift, but in this game, we didn't. We did try to out-football them. There was a period in the middle where it did go flat, and it was tough for us. But at the start and at the finish, I thought we played some fantastic football. I really do. I know we won it with set pieces, but we could have scored 3-4 goals, but for some unbelievable saves from Nick Pope. This move here started down the right, didn't it, with Gyökeres holding the ball up superbly for Saka. He draws that midfielder in. You can see the yellow arrow there. He draws him in. He misses him out, plays it to Rice. And there you see circled the 2v1. Rice charges up the field, slips in Trossard at the perfect moment, and Trossard hits the post. It would have been one of the best team goals of the season. I thought that during that first half, Timber, Saka and Gyökeres worked brilliantly down that right-hand side, superbly, really. Then we had the flat patch, and towards the end, when so many attacking players were here, there and everywhere, popping up in unusual positions, we certainly caused Newcastle a world of problems. I mean, Jurriën Timber, we'll get to him shortly, absolutely magnificent, but so unlucky not to score. Here's the pass from Zubimendi, outside of the foot, little dinky pass, after Eze had done some magic. teed up by Saka. It was, and Trossard has set it back to him. It was a really flowing move that showcased Arsenal's quality, and we were denied by a top save. Victor Gyökeres, he's going to keep dividing opinion. It's another big game he doesn't score in, but for me, he had an excellent game. A really, really good game. Obviously, his anticipation for the penalty was fantastic. And just while we're on it, I'm not going to labour the point, but I thought it was an outrageously bad decision from VAR to get involved and to overturn what was a clear foul and a clear penalty kick. And I'm not going to go all clickbait here and start teeing off. We won the game. Ultimately, we got away with it. But, you know, it was a really, really bad decision. If that's not a foul, then, you know, what is, really? Was Gabriel's handball something that evened out? Not for me. It comes off his leg. It's blasted at short range. His arm, you can't control your arm when you're sliding in like that. That would have been incredibly harsh to give that against us, in my opinion. But and in terms of the Gyökeres one, it's 100% a penalty, 110% a penalty, and was absolutely staggered. Touch or no touch from the goalkeeper that they changed it. They became fixated on this touch. But the truth is, he's wiped out. He goes round him. It's a foul. Anyway, let's move on from it. I thought he was really good. Some great numbers as well. He was the quickest player for Arsenal. That might surprise a few. Registered a top speed of 35.26 kilometres an hour. He made more intensive runs than anyone else. He made more sprints than anyone else. Gyökeres had more touches inside the opposition box than anyone else, 12, which was double the next Arsenal player. And he had 6 shots. So for me, this was a big step forward for Victor Gyökeres, a top performance. And going back briefly to that penalty incident, it came from a long ball. And 5 games running that we've scored from long balls over the top. And we almost got another one. Let's have a quick look at it. It's just Eze seeing the run of Saka. There's an empty space at centre forward. He runs in behind. He holds it up. There's a bit of chaos. It's a poor back pass and Gyökeres wins the penalty. Right. Let's get to the goal conceded. I'm having to go at some pace today, by the way, aren't I? There's so much to unpack from the game. I'm sure I'll forget some bits. Please forgive me. Let's talk about the goal conceded. Short corner, of course. I want to show you a freeze frame of the moment Voltemada out jumps Gabriel Magalhaes. Here it is now. Look at the far post clutch of players. From that short corner, they've sent 3 to the far stick. And I think they've deliberately tried to isolate whoever's picking up Voltemada in the centre of the box. It happens to be Gabriel Magalhaes. And they're just backing the big man to win the header inside the box. In my opinion, it's not a foul. I think that there are hands on the back, but it's not a penalty. Gabriel, I think, will know he should have been a little bit stronger. And he just got underneath the ball and got his positioning wrong. He was in no position to compete, unfortunately, with that leap from Voltemada, who's an absolute giant. And you have to say it's a really well-worked short corner from Newcastle that Gabriel could have defended much better. But the way they isolated him, I thought was really, really clever. In terms of tactical tweaks in that second half, there were 1 or 2 I picked up on, apart from the obvious in terms of Ødegaard and Eze and whatnot, as these sort of shared number 10s. Trossard was too narrow, in my opinion, first half. Played well, but was narrow. Didn't offer us balance. Calafiori was a bit quiet as well down that side. Second half, his touches were all really, really wide. And he moves the ball early, Trossard. And the corner that we won for the goal that we scored, the equaliser, was Ødegaard into Trossard, through the legs of a player to Rice. And he wins the corner and we score from it. So Trossard playing wider made a difference. And while we're on the subject of Declan Rice, he was really freed up, wasn't he, in the second half? He was here, there and everywhere, moving right, moving left, going forward much more often. And, I mean, there's some great numbers. I'll show you them here on the screen. No one had more passes than Declan Rice, by 25 actually. He had 25 more passes than any other Arsenal player, 85 in total. He had pretty much double the number of passes into the final third compared to any other Arsenal player. Timber was the next closest. So it was a really authoritative performance, I thought, from Declan Rice. And we'll get to his assist very, very shortly. While we're talking about star performers, Jurrien Timber, magnificent. Absolutely superb. Him and Saka down the right, just brilliant. 6 dribbles. He won 8 duels. He created 3 chances. those 18 passes inside the final third. He was tigerish in defence as well. He pocketed Anthony Gordon, didn't he, really? So a top performance from Jurrien Timber, who has to be the best right back in the Premier League. Probably in European football at the moment, there's no one better than him. Hakimi is obviously fantastic, but in the here and now, Timber, for me, is the main man. Right, breathless stuff. Let's talk about the goal that we scored. Let's go with the equaliser first. Short corner, we're patient with it. And we copied Newcastle. Look at this. Look at the way we've dragged 2 or 3 Newcastle defenders towards that far post in the red circle. Gabriel as well has stayed clear of that middle zone. And what we've done here is we've isolated Sven Botman with Mikel Merino. And the pace of the cross from Rice is perfect, as is the trajectory. All he's got to do is jump ahead of him. And he jumps early and then he guides it. It's a brilliant precision header from Mikel Merino. And full credit to him. What a goal, what a celebration. And what a guy he is. Really, really important player for Arsenal. And he's going to come up with more big goals for us moving forwards. The winner. It's an old favourite from Nicolas Jauvert's playbook, isn't it? Absolutely it is. What do we do? If in doubt, let's box the keeper in. Who's been brilliant, of course, Nick Pope. Saliba stands in front of him. He's not fouling him. And the ploy here, as you can see on the screen, is let's just crowd the near post with as many bodies as we can. Now, why? Well, look at Pope. He cannot. There's no way he can come out and catch the ball. There's no way he can come out and punch the ball because Saliba's in front of him, and so too pretty much everybody else on the pitch. This is deliberate. All Odegaard's got to do, and he does it brilliantly, is clip it into the right area in at the near post and hope that a red and white shirt gets a touch on it, because Pope is not getting there. And it comes off absolutely amazingly for Arsenal. And it's a brilliant goal. Gabriel Magalhaes, 18 goals from set pieces for Arsenal since he joined us. The next closest is James Ward-Prowse on 14. No one scores more from corners or wide free kicks than Gabby, or Big Gabby, shall I say. Look, it was a great performance, I thought. I know that we left it late, but it was a great performance. A few numbers. In terms of Newcastle, they'd been really solid. They'd had 4 clean sheets out of 5. They're a nightmare to play against. I'll read some numbers out to you. You can see them on the screen, actually. They'd average 0.51 XG against per game, 7 shots a game faced, 2.6 on target faced, big chances, less than 1 a game. Then look at what we produced here. Over 2 expected goals. 20 shots, 7 on target, 4 big chances faced. It was a top performance, real top performance. Liverpool had 5 shots against 10-man Newcastle. So this was really, really strong from us, and it has laid down a marker. Player ratings. Those of you that miss my Port Vale video, what are you doing, first and foremost? Anyway, if you did miss it, I've introduced player ratings. So I'm going to rattle through them now. David Raya, didn't have to do a lot, 7. Timber, main man for me, 9. Mosquera, 5, a little bit below par. Gabriel, 7. Obviously, he comes good with the goal, but it was a little bit shaky in the first half. Calafiori, 6. Not his best game. Zubimendi, 7. What a pass that was for Timber. And he was pretty good during the game. Declan Rice, 8, probably 8.5 really. Thought he was outstanding in the game. Saka, 7, strong performance. Eza, 7. Very, very good. Trossard, also a 7. And I'm going to go with a 7 for Gyökeres, although he could be a 7.5. It was mainly based on a terrific first half performance. In terms of the subs, Saliba, a definite 7. Merino, 7. Odegaard, I'm going to go 8 because he was absolutely outstanding once he came on. Lewis Skelly and Martinelli with 6 is a piece. What a day. What a win. It was my birthday as well, so it was the perfect present from Arsenal on my big day. So I was very, very grateful for that. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you guys did too, or those Gooners that are watching anyway. And look, I think the points tally that we got, 2 points off Liverpool, with the fixture list that Arsenal have had compared to Liverpool, I think we should be very, very pleased with that indeed, and it puts us in a lovely position to kick on and hopefully overtake Liverpool over the coming weeks, which I think is more than possible. That was the breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll be back soon. Obviously, we've got Olympiacos coming up, haven't we? I'll be back to break all that down and to analyse it very, very soon. See you later.